I lost years to overthinking, not because there was something physically stopping me from doing the work, but my brain, it had convinced me that I needed to be more ready than even God was requiring me to be. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm in the hot seat today because we are covering a topic that has had me by the shackles, honey, for years with the Z. And the reason I share that is because I want you to know you are talking to the overthinking expert today. But you're also talking to someone who is in real time coming out of that. And I am seeing the fruit of what happens when you get out of your head and you get your butt on the field. You may or may not know, I've been creating content online for years now. At this point, probably over a decade of creating some form of content on somebody's platform. And after 10 years, you would think I would be a lot more successful than I am. But the reason I'm not is due to overthinking. This has been a major burden in my entire journey because I've been in this vicious cycle where things have to be exactly right in order for me to want to move forward with this. And so with that, I made a shift and I also made a decision. I said I was going to start posting once a week, at least for the first 3 months of the year. And here we are in week 7. I am so grateful, but I want to let you know I am still scared. I am still anxious. I still feel unqualified, and I do not like all the content that I've been producing. And that's really what I want to share with you today. The tactical steps I've been taking to get out of my head, and hopefully they're things that you can apply to your own life and start making your own waves. For most of us, overthinking is the product of a smaller seed. Either your need to control things, your fear of what people are going to think about you, your need to be perfect and for things to be of a certain standard. Whatever it is start small and it grows into something bigger. I think for me, I got all those seeds in my bag. But what I've learned to do is to take that seed and keep it small. And so for me, what that would look like, if I take the video I posted last week, I would say, look at your hair. Your hair's puffing up. Now everybody's going to be looking at your hair. Because everyone's going to be looking at your hair, no one's going to be listening to the message. If they do listen to the message, they're not going to believe what you say because they're going to look at your hair and they wouldn't believe somebody who had hair like that. And then they're going to say, unsubscribe, they don't like it. And no one is going to share or like or comment on this video because it is not good. And therefore, just don't even post it. That is the crazy process I was putting myself through for every single piece of content. So now, instead of spiraling out of control, what I would do is just write down, my hair doesn't look good, and because of that, people won't watch my video. And if they do watch my video, they're gonna think it's not good. When you read that sentence back, people won't watch my video, and if they do watch it, they won't think it's good. It really just minimizes what that means. Like, okay. And then the world keeps spinning, you keep living, nothing's gonna happen. But when I do not get in front of that thought, I leave room for it just to spiral out of control. And when I see it on that paper, it still bothers me, let's be honest, but it just doesn't feel as big anymore. So whatever big thought you're having, write it down and read it for what it is. Minimize it. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to bother you because that hair clearly still bothers me. However, it won't stop you. Now, minimizing a fear is one thing, but that fear realizing is another. And so what I've had to do is make a list of non-negotiables, a contract with myself that says, even if these things happen, you're still going to do X, Y, and Z. So for instance, even if I get low views on a video, I have to post another one the next week. Even if I don't like the content, I still have to put it out there. Even if I have a hair or an audio or a light issue, I'm still going to put it out there. These are non-negotiables that I've created with myself that forces me to move past my feelings in the moment and do it anyways. Because normally, like that hair thing, that video would have never seen the light of day. But because my non-negotiable says, even if you don't like the video, you got to post it anyways, I close my eyes and I hit publish. So you make your own list of non-negotiables. I don't know what you're working on. I don't know what God has called you to do, but whatever it is, let yourself know I'm going to do it even if it hurts, even if I'm afraid, even if I don't like it. I'm doing it anyways. In addition to having those non-negotiables, it's also really helpful to have a deadline. So it's one thing to say, even if I don't like the video, I'm going to post it. But it's another thing to say, I'm going to post it every week, regardless. Because I could easily say, oh, I'm going to post it, but do it in a month. But doing it at a consistent cadence forces me to deal with that uncomfortable tension that I don't like. And over time, it gets a little easier. I can honestly say the anxiety and the pressure and the fear I felt day one, I do not feel in week 7. It's not all the way gone, but it also just doesn't feel as heavy and as big as I was making it before. Because now there's a video on the internet of myself that I don't necessarily care for. And the world didn't end. And so now I know I could put another video out there that I don't necessarily care for and the world still won't end. And so you start building up that muscle and that habit when you give yourself a deadline, because it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna do it eventually. But no, when you say I'm gonna do it by this date and you actually do it, it makes it easier to do over and over and over again. So get those non-negotiables and then give yourself a deadline to act on those non-negotiables. And the main thing I've been doing, honestly, is really thinking the best of myself and believing the best for myself. There's a quote that talks about the fact that faith and fear both demand that you believe in something that you cannot see. So you can spin up the best case or you can spin up the worst case. Either way, it's all in your imagination. And what I also have found is that God blesses obedience. As messy as it is, as ugly as it is, as unqualified as you think you are, it is the consistency that qualifies us. And that's important to note, because like we talked about a few videos ago, you have to track your process over your progress. Because if you look at my page, I do not get a lot of views on my videos. I have not grown significantly in the number of subscribers, but what I do have is 7 weeks of receipts and proof that I show up when I say I'm going to do something. I can take this and apply it to any area of my life and get the ball rolling. So that's something else you have to remind yourself when you are pushing past that overthinking. Once you do it, it doesn't mean immediately everything is going to magically happen the way you expect it to, or that the best case scenario will come out of that. What it does mean is that you've just proven to yourself that you can do hard things. So if you're waiting to feel ready before you start, then you'll probably never start, because there's always going to be something you can improve on. There's always going to be something you could do better. But I'm sitting over here with 7 weeks of proof that consistency is key when you want to move forward. And I don't know what your thing is, but I want you to get out of your head, get on the field, get in the game, and do the things that you know you want to do. Let me know in the comments an area that you've been overthinking, and I will share one small baby step that will help you move the needle in that area. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. The family is growing. Slowly, but we're growing, not just in size, but in spirit too. I've been so blessed being alongside this journey with you all. I've received so many meaningful emails and DMs about the channel, and I'm just blessed to be a part of the journey. So I will be praying for you this week. I will talk to you next week. Until next time, bye.